course. This next one is not so much of a question as it is a statement that I'm sure you'll agree with. It's hard to imagine a quieter, more overlooked, excellent player than Emilian Pitre, just given what he provides defensively. He's a shortstop level athlete who's playing second base.
Yes.
He's great feel to hit, has more pop than you think. Steals bases. So it's just hard to imagine something going more under the radar than how excellent he's been the last 2 years.
Yeah, we've started describing him as sort of that unassuming superstar on this team. And I think he's just scratching the surface of what he can be as a finished product. He is still growing. We tell the story all the time of when he stepped on campus. He was 135, 140 pounds, and he continues to get stronger, and he's putting on the muscle and the weight in a good way. Obviously, he's got a strong arm, like you mentioned. He's a shortstop playing second base. But I think it's just his overall demeanor, Joe. He's just so even keel. And I even asked him on a pregame interview this year, I said, what are some of the mental checklists that you go through before you hit that allows you to be so even? We never really see emotion. He obviously celebrates with his teammates, but we've never seen him get frustrated on the field. And I asked him about his mental checklist, and he just told me it's normally like I'm making sure my feet are where they're supposed to be. I'm going through all the things that I can control, and that's the biggest thing for him is he focuses on what he can control, and obviously his talent level. Coach Mingione raves about his instincts on the bases, how he reads pitchers and is able to just take off. His launch, his explosiveness off the bases is elite. And his pop times getting from home to first base on ground balls or balls in play is at an elite level. I think I'm like you. I think he's a superstar already. I think he's a young man that can get to the major leagues, barring something catastrophic, unforeseen. I think he's a guy that can get there. And he has been so much fun to watch develop. Taught himself English. This is the kind of guy we're talking about. Taught himself English. He's basically on his own here in Lexington. I don't think he'd mind me saying this. I don't think he's got a driver's license. I think his teammates take him anywhere he needs to go or picks him up at the airport. So, but to be on his own here and teaching himself English and to become the player he is has just been really fun to watch. It's been a pleasure to get to know Emilian while he's been in Lexington, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a great point about the language barrier. For those who don't know, he's French Canadian, and so comes with that language barrier. And just imagine if you're a listener, imagine how disorienting it would be if we dropped you off in the Dominican Republic during summer ball and said, "Here you go," and oh, by the way, you're playing in the toughest league in this country, and good luck. And there's a lot of pressure here. How disorienting it would be to not be in your home environment and thrive that way. So I always, we see it all over the place. There are players that, come from Latin America who have to learn English in college baseball, but just anybody I have so much respect for anybody that has to do that, because I think we consistently underestimate how difficult that is to not just be riddled with things. I'd be riddled with anxiety like all the time about I don't know how to, it's just, anyway, just impressive.